Space is vast, dark, mysterious. It stretches out in all directions, an endless expanse that has fascinated humanity for millennia. We gaze up at the night sky, wondering what secrets it holds, what stories it could tell if only we could listen. The universe is a place of infinite possibilities where the unimaginable becomes reality, and the unknown beckons us to explore further. It holds wonders beyond imagination, but also dangers. The beauty of a distant galaxy can be mesmerizing, but lurking within that beauty are forces that could spell doom for any who venture too close. Black holes, supernovae, and cosmic radiation are just a few of the perils that await in the vastness of space. Yet it is this very danger that makes space so intriguing, so compelling. It is a place where the laws of physics are pushed to their limits, where the extraordinary becomes ordinary. For eons, a mountain of ice drifted silently through the cosmos. This icy wanderer, untouched by the warmth of a star, traveled through the cold, dark reaches of space, a relic from a time long before our own. It was a silent witness to the birth of stars and the formation of planets, a frozen time capsule carrying the secrets of the universe within its icy core. It floated through the void, a solitary traveler on an endless journey. Its surface was a frozen landscape, a stark contrast to the fiery infernos of the stars it passed by. This was no ordinary comet, it was a giant, a relic from the birth of our solar system, and its path was about to intersect with our own planet, Earth. This was no ordinary comet. It was a colossal mass of ice and rock, a behemoth that dwarfed anything we had ever seen before. Its size was staggering, its presence awe-inspiring. As it hurtled through space, it carried with it the potential for both wonder and destruction. This was a giant, a relic from the birth of our solar system, and its path was about to intersect with our own planet, Earth. The thought of such a massive object hurtling towards us was both terrifying and fascinating. It was a reminder of the fragility of our existence, of the delicate balance that keeps our planet safe from the countless dangers that lurk in the cosmos. This celestial visitor was immense, larger than any asteroid we'd ever tracked. Its size was almost incomprehensible, a testament to the sheer scale of the universe. To give you a sense of scale, picture the entire state of Nevada. Now, imagine that covered in ice, thicker than the deepest parts of the Arctic. That was the size of our problem. This was a giant, a relic from the birth of our solar system, and its path was about to intersect with our own planet, Earth. To give you a sense of scale, picture the entire state of Nevada. Now imagine that covered in ice, thicker than the deepest parts of the Arctic. That was the size of our problem. This was no ordinary comet, it was a colossal mass of ice and rock, a behemoth that dwarfed anything we had ever seen before. Its size was staggering, its presence awe-inspiring. As it hurtled through space, it carried with it the potential for both wonder and destruction. Traveling at unimaginable speeds, the asteroid was on a collision course, its target the southwestern United States. The chances of such an event were astronomically small, yet here it was, a cosmic roll of the dice with Earth in the crosshairs. The thought of such a massive object hurtling towards us was both terrifying and fascinating. It was a reminder of the fragility of our existence, of the delicate balance that keeps our planet safe from the countless dangers that lurk in the cosmos. The asteroid, a silent harbinger of change, sped closer, ready to reshape our world in ways we could barely comprehend. It was a reminder of the fragility of our existence, of the delicate balance that keeps our planet safe from the countless dangers that lurk in the cosmos. The asteroid, a silent harbinger of change, sped closer, ready to reshape our world in ways we could barely comprehend. The universe is a place of infinite possibilities where the unimaginable becomes reality, and the unknown beckons us to explore further. The first sign was light. It was an ordinary day, the sun rising as it always did, casting its golden hue over the horizon. But then, something extraordinary happened. A light, far brighter than the sun, pierced the sky. It was as if a second sun had appeared, but this one was not a harbinger of life. It was a messenger of doom, a blinding flash, brighter than 1,000 suns, as the asteroid ripped through the atmosphere. The heavens themselves seemed to tear apart as the colossal rock hurtled towards Earth. People looked up in awe and terror, their eyes unable to comprehend the magnitude of the event unfolding before them. The air itself screamed, compressed and superheated by the sheer force of the impact. The atmosphere ignited, turning the sky into a canvas of fire and fury. The winds howled like a banshee, carrying with them the promise of destruction. It was a sound that would haunt the memories of those who survived. Then came the impact, a cataclysmic event that rewrote the geography of our planet in an instant. The ground shook with a violence never before felt, as if the very bones of the earth were being shattered. Mountains crumbled, valleys were forged, and the landscape was forever altered in the blink of an eye. Imagine, if you will, the energy of 1,000,000 nuclear weapons detonating at once. The explosion was beyond comprehension, a force of nature that defied all human understanding. It was as if the gods themselves had unleashed their wrath upon the world, leaving nothing but devastation in their wake. That was the force unleashed as the asteroid slammed into the Nevada desert. The once barren landscape was transformed into a scene of utter chaos. The impact site became a gaping wound in the earth, a testament to the sheer power of the cosmic event that had transpired. The earth buckled, groaned, and then split apart as if ripped open by a cosmic claw. Fissures snaked across the ground, swallowing everything in their path. Buildings, trees, and entire towns were consumed by the gaping chasms, disappearing into the depths of the earth. A shockwave, traveling faster than sound, raced outward, flattening everything in its path. The force of the blast was unstoppable, a wall of destruction that left nothing but ruin in its wake. It was as if the hand of a giant had swept across the land, erasing all traces of civilization. The very air turned to fire, a searing inferno that incinerated anything within 1,000 miles. Forests were reduced to ashes in an instant, the flames spreading with a ferocity that defied belief. The heat was unbearable, a relentless force that consumed everything in its path. Forests spontaneously combusted, and the once familiar landscape was instantly reshaped into a crater of unimaginable size. The impact had left a scar on the earth, a reminder of the day the sky fell. The world as we knew it was gone, replaced by a new, harsher reality. The day had arrived, the day the sky fell. The sky, once a symbol of hope and endless possibility, had become a harbinger of doom. Debris rained down from above, darkening the world below. It was a scene of apocalyptic proportions, a vision of the end times that would be etched into the annals of history forever. The impact was just the beginning. When the asteroid collided with Earth, it unleashed a chain of events that would forever change the planet. The initial explosion was a sight to behold, a blinding flash of light followed by a deafening roar that echoed across the landscape. But this was merely the opening act in a catastrophic series of events. What followed was a scene of unimaginable chaos. People ran for their lives, their faces etched with terror as buildings crumbled around them. The ground shook violently, and the air was filled with the sounds of destruction. It was as if the very fabric of reality was being torn apart. The force of the collision launched trillions of tons of molten rock and ice into the atmosphere. The sky darkened as debris blotted out the sun, creating an eerie twilight that cast long shadows over the devastated landscape. Volcanic eruptions added to the chaos, spewing ash and lava high into the air. This debris, some as large as mountains, rained down across the continent, each impact triggering earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. The ground heaved and buckled under the strain, sending shockwaves that could be felt hundreds of miles away. It was a relentless onslaught with no end in sight. Remember that image of Nevada? Gone, vaporized in an instant. The once familiar landscape was now unrecognizable, replaced by a barren wasteland. The sheer force of the impact had obliterated everything in its path, leaving nothing but a memory of what once was. In its place, a crater so vast it beggars description. Stretching for miles in every direction, this colossal scar on the Earth's surface was a testament to the unimaginable power of the asteroid. It was a sight that defied comprehension, a reminder of the fragility of our planet. But the real danger wasn't the crater, it was the water. As the asteroid struck, it released a deluge of water trapped within its icy core. This water, now free, began to surge outward, creating a flood of epic proportions. Trillions of gallons of it, released from the heart of the asteroid, now surged outward in a cataclysmic flood. The water moved with terrifying speed, engulfing everything in its path. Rivers swelled beyond their banks, and lakes overflowed, merging into a single unstoppable torrent. This wasn't just a flood, it was a force of nature unlike anything ever witnessed. Towering waves crashed down, sweeping away anything that stood in their way. The sheer volume of water was staggering, a deluge that seemed to have no end. A wall of water hundreds of feet high, carrying with it the shattered remnants of the Nevada desert, surged across the landscape, swallowing everything in its path. Trees, buildings, and even mountains were no match for the relentless onslaught. The water carved new paths through the land, reshaping the very geography of the continent. Cities were erased, mountains reshaped, and the very face of the continent was forever altered. The aftermath of the flood was a scene of utter devastation. Where once there had been thriving communities, there was now only ruin. The landscape had been transformed, a stark reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of human civilization. The immediate aftermath was devastation on a scale never before seen. Where once there were bustling cities, now there was only a vast, churning sea. The landscape, once familiar, was now alien, a waterlogged wasteland stretching as far as the eye could see. The air was thick with dust, ash, and the stench of death. The impact had immediate and catastrophic effects on the global climate. The sheer volume of dust and debris blasted into the atmosphere blotted out the sun, plunging the planet into a perpetual twilight. Temperatures plummeted, and a long, harsh winter descended upon the Earth. This wasn't just a local disaster, it was a global catastrophe. The delicate balance of the Earth's ecosystem had been profoundly disrupted, and the consequences would be felt for generations to come. Yet, amidst the chaos, humanity's resilience shone through. Rescue operations were launched immediately, with emergency responders risking their lives to save others. Volunteers from around the world poured in, distributing supplies, setting up makeshift shelters, and ensuring that the displaced had food and water. The rebuilding efforts began almost immediately. Communities came together, determined to restore what was lost and build anew. Local governments initiated large-scale infrastructure projects, focusing on flood defenses and sustainable urban planning. In the face of such overwhelming adversity, the human spirit proved indomitable. Acts of kindness and solidarity became the norm, showcasing the best of humanity. Technological advancements played a crucial role, with drones and AI aiding in search and rescue operations. International aid flowed in, with countries uniting to support the recovery efforts, proving that in times of crisis, we are stronger together. Global initiatives focused on climate resilience and disaster preparedness to prevent future catastrophes.